right, guys. I am Doug Bruner again, and I am here with a great friend of mine, business partner, Kyle Espinola. This is The Toast. I'm very excited today. We actually had a previous, I didn't tell you, Kyle, we had a previous scheduled one, so you're my backup. But you know what they say about backups. They always become starters in the end, right?
I'm pretty good at filling in.
Yes,
Let's see.
And that is true about Kyle. Well, no, we were going to do a water deal today, conflicting things. The guy who used to be on The Toast with me, Keith, who seems to bail all the time, somehow scheduled it wrong. So regardless of the situation, it was quick for me to really pick somebody who I've been wanting to do a interview with, is Kyle Espinola, and a lot of people know him already in the ag community. He is positioning himself as a top upcomer in service businesses in agriculture. He's starting another one. We're going to ask him more, but most off, and first and foremost, I want to get into Kyle's family, where he grew up. I know everything. He's a Chowchilla native boy. He went to Monterey for college. That's kind of weird, but he has a beautiful wife who's a great friend to my wife, two beautiful kids, one who's very special. All kids are special, but his daughter has a really special story. So, Kyle, first of all, thank you for being here with me. And thank you for being my partner. I'm pretty lucky. I'm a really lucky guy. I'll say it. I'm not afraid to say that as a man. I love Kyle. He's a stud, and he's the type of guy I can call first thing in the morning, and he brightens my day because I know full throttle is on the table with that man. Because first of all, he gets up at 4 and probably 3:30. He starts work at 4. So
That's changed a little bit now. 2 kids. I'm rolling out of the house a little bit later.
Well, you should.
Yeah.
You should. You should spend more time with your family. But I was talking, Kyle, to a guy who just started with us in Tulare today. And not today, but I was talking with him today, and he just started. And, we're talking about our businesses, your businesses that you run. And I said, hey, buddy, when he's fully on board on being great, being successful, and he's doing a great job. But I said, when Kyle started, I think it was 4 to 8 every day, and we had half the amount of stuff. And so I want you to talk about that to young guys, what drives you to do that, how you've seen that pay off, and things like that. But again, start with your family, your upbringing, and everything like that. So,
Yeah.
Chowchilla native.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Doug. Chowchilla native, born in Merced, lived a little bit in Turlock. My dad is a CHP, was a retired CHP, So he was in Modesto at the time. We lived in Turlock. A lot of cousins there. We've moved back at a young age to be with our grandparents. Both grandparents lived in Chowchilla. Grandpa had a dairy on my dad's side. Other grandpa had a dairy refrigeration company. So we're kind of always born in ag, or always within ag.
Don't they call you the Portuguese Godfather?
Something like that. So I think that might have been my grandpa.
The Yolch. Don't you? What do you drive?
The GMC.
Yeah, the GMC or a Yolch?
The Yolch. It's a Yolch.
Okay, he drives a Yolch.
So yeah, it's been ag the whole time, but you're talking about 4:30 in the morning, and I was thinking about it today. Just instilled from a young age. I can't thank my parents enough for what they did, teaching me life lessons growing up, working on the dairy, we had 19 acres of almonds growing up. I think my dad rented it from my grandpa, worked on that every day during summer. If we wanted money at home, there was a chore list on the refrigerator. Hey, you want to go out? You better fold some clothes. I'll give you 40 cents an hour, mow the lawn, do the dishes. And that's how, we made money. There was 2 roles that we had growing up was if you wanted money, you better work for it. And 2, you're going to go to school, you're going to go to college, you're going to graduate. Mm-hmm. Whatever you do after that, kind of up to you. So parents did great about just instilling work ethic, responsibility, and all that. So born in ag, grew up my grandpa's dairy on Road 9. Parents lived there. Went to school in Monterey and was working for...
Back to high school. High school. I think another thing that makes Kyle a really good worker, manager, you were a really good athlete in high school. I remember watching you. You were really good in baseball, football, pretty much, I think, almost anything you did. And I know you got a college scholarship, but how did sports really, not only did you work, did sports play an impact in a lot of,
Yeah, I think sports played an impact of just being on the go and time management. Was in played a lot of baseball growing up. Me and my dad had a conversation when we were young. Hey, you want to play travel baseball? Or you want to play youth football? Pick travel baseball at a young age. 9, 10 years old. Parents were driving me to the Bay Area 2-3 times a week for baseball practice.
Wow.
Playing with guys that are still in the pros today.
Cool.
And just learned a lot about being humble, kind of knowing where you're from, but at the end of the day, you're a small fish in the big sea. I was probably the top athlete in Chowchilla. 1 or 2 guys, but played multiple sports, multiple Valley championships. But on the weekends, I can dominate during the week, and on the weekends, I'd go and play with these guys that were just on a huge, totally different caliber than I was, and it was tremendously humbling, at a young age to realize, hey, I'm not who I am. On the weekends, you can shine on the weekdays, but on the weekends, that's where, your money's made. So always wanted to do sports, picked baseball to go play in college, went to Cal State Monterey on a scholarship, played my freshman year there, had a terrible year. I think we were, I don't even know, 8-30 or something. But coach got fired, scholarship got pulled, so ended up coming back to Merced Junior College, played a year there, and then went back to Monterey my junior year. And that's kind of when everything settled in. Reality sets in. Hey, is this a career? Obviously, every kid wants to be a pro athlete, but at some point, you got to kind of pull the plug and check in with reality. So, my junior year of college, I decided, hey, baseball's not going to.
So you went back to Monterey to play baseball? I
went back to Monterey, not on a scholarship. Went back to Monterey basically to be with my friends. And I still talk to them on the daily. 6-7 guys I went to college with, talked to them all the time. Was at a bachelor party 2 weekends ago with them. Went back there. I said, shoot, I'll try baseball again. No scholarship, nothing. Try to walk on. Probably would have made the team, but just within tryouts, within the first week, I just realized, it's not for me. So buckled down school-wise, did another year and a half, ended up graduate right on time, getting the heck out of there and getting to work. But the whole time, while I was there, it was play baseball, go to school, get stuff done. But summers, it was come back, and I started on Memorial Day every single summer working. Was lucky enough to get opportunity to work with the Vlot brothers in Chowchilla. Good family friends of my parents. They gave me a job driving a water truck year one. I think I was 16, 17.
If you didn't drive a water truck, you never started.
You learned wrong. Yeah. There was no AC, no radio, no nothing. Just me and my thoughts.
That cheap son of a gun.
So there's nothing at that point. That ranch was different back then. So I had my routes.
Good company.
And I did it. I ran the water truck. My first summer, went back to school. Actually worked at a batting cage on the weekends every single Saturday and Sunday for my junior and senior year of college. I worked at a batting cage, basically just to pay for fun, right? Parents paid for school, and I paid for the fun stuff.
You can't buy beer with no money.
Not in Monterey either. I mean, you can't even go out on a date without spending $150. So learned, just had to make some money and came back. Year 2, I think I worked on. I think I was driving a swather. Then I finally graduated, and Case and Dirk said, hey, you want to manage this place. I think it was about 4,000 acres of land, a lot of alfalfa, wheat, corn, no trees at the time. But I truly think that's where I learned it all. I learned how to speak Spanish. I learned how to manage guys. I think we had 30 or 40 guys, managed all the equipment. So we were on the dairy all the time doing equipment stuff. And I just kind of really fell in love to being a manager and kind of, being on somebody else's schedule. But at the end of the day, I was on my own schedule. I created a schedule for the guys, and we kind of rolled. So always wanted to be my own boss and venture from there. So I think the conversation started with Clay Haynes. He actually owned a piece of my grandpa's property, which was right in between all of Vlot's land that we managed. And I remember sneaking away and talking with him about kind of what the next step was and how to be a business owner? How do you take the next step? The writing's on the wall. You can only farm manage in a, nothing against Case or Dirk, but you can only farm manage in a family farm for so long before, just the writing's on the wall. And like I said, nothing against them. I learned so many good things for them. So kind of took that and, ran into you guys. And
I think I was the one who reached out to you, right? Yeah.
Yeah. You called me every day for about 39 days straight, maybe twice a day.
Yeah. When I want something, I'm pretty persistent at getting it. And for me, it was hard because I had the respect for the Vlaut family. However, when somebody, you get rumors that somebody might be moving on or looking at something else. And as I spend most of my time now isn't in the field as much, or definitely not on equipment. It's more spending recruiting. And I took that at a really early step in my business, is knowing that when Kyle's first company he came with us to was Caddyshack, and we were for probably a year and a half, I think, before you came there, just beating our heads against the wall. And that was the first business I had, along with Clay. It was a service company, and I was new to that. And I just had such a hard time. And it's like, son of a gun, we were going through these managers and shit like that. And I was like, we need a stud. And when Kyle came on, he didn't know anything about really customer service. You're on a dairy. You understood employees. You speak Spanish. Yeah, you're a good-looking guy. You had all the classes, but you were kind of going into it too with us, like, hey, we're learning this whole thing together.
It was blind. There was huge decisions that were to be made. You go back to my question about my wife and the family. We weren't even married at the time, but there was a lot of late night talks. Am I going to leave this to go manage a rodent control company?
I was going to just say it is tough. Not the most, how do you say, glorious.
It was not at all. And the numbers weren't glorious. Nothing was glorious about it besides the fact that I had an opportunity to be my own boss and own a company and do what I want, make of it what I wanted. And so kudos to my wife. Like I said, she's awesome. We had a lot of late night talks and a lot of confidence in God and opportunities that He was creating, and to really look past rodent control and Caddyshack and just look at the opportunity that it was to better myself and better, the possible future of my family. So
yeah, I think my parents always told me, or especially my mom, somebody's going to be a good janitor, somebody's going to be good at cleaning out septic tanks, just the worst of the worst jobs. And this rodent control wasn't a beautiful thing. It wasn't even known. Like when I decided to do this and I came to Clay said he already thought about it before. I don't know about that, but yeah, he said, the reason I wanted to be with Clay is because Clay is a professional at service companies, right? That's how he got going. He's a large farmer now, but he got going by being really good with people. So, before Kyle, I attached I hitched my wagon to a guy like Clay Haynes. And then I always say, like, the Ag Center probably wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for a guy like him who took a chance with me. And then, I always learned from, like, my father-in-law getting really good people. It's hard when you have nothing to get good. And so for us, we couldn't even afford the salary to you, which wasn't shit. Now you look back at it, to get you, right? But it's like, I am going to trade up in the draft. Today's the NFL draft. I'm fucking hope the Niners do something right. And I wanted to trade up to get you, right? And I knew if we could get you, you had a good name and everything like that, things would grow. And for those of you who don't know Kyle, he's the hardest working person, one of the hardest working, if not top hardest working people I know. I was thinking about that today before I came and talked to him. I look at the Ag Center and there's 20-something companies involved. I don't know every single one of them that intimately, but Kyle is literally there's probably 1,000 employees involved with the whole thing. I would love to know that calculation, but he is just so determined. And, we talk back to knowing your place. He was a high school star. And then on the weekend, he go to the Bay Area and you decide, holy shit, I'm maybe not that badass. Right?
And I think at that point it was, okay, what are you going to do to get better? So it was work ethic.
Yeah.
There was Sundays, there was, like you said, 4:30 to 8 to 9 to 10. We were moving rigs around. Only had 4. We were running like we had 10. I got the wife or girlfriend at the time in the pickup on Sundays, working 14 hours on Sundays, and just kind of, putting in the grind because
putting in hours that people don't know about. Yeah. That's the biggest thing. It's just like donating. Do you donate to get recognized, or you donate to do the right thing? And one thing about you is you have never called me and said, you know what, Doug, I was up at 4 this morning, blah, 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 blah. No, I don't have to be told that you were doing it. You just did it. And that is why, for me personally, I was forced to partner with Kyle. Not because he told me that. I'm personally, in my mind, forced to, this doesn't exist without him. This doesn't exist without that. And so going out to young people, which Kyle, I think is becoming I was just talking to his buddy, Brendan, before, there's a few guys in the industry that are known as, operators and things like that. And I think Kyle's quickly moving up the food chain as one of the top, if not the top operator in the game right now. He can take on any type of equipment. But the funny thing is, he's the guy on the piece of shit running it and will figure it out himself. He doesn't, Greg Hostetler, a guy I look up to in business, how he's been so successful in so many ways. And somebody told me, he said, he has told somebody this, and I heard this. He said, I will never buy a piece of equipment that I have not operated. And you're the same way.
Yeah. And it's been such a fulfilling role, right? Because that's really what I love, right? Mm-hmm. I love operating machinery. I mean, we just started a solar company. I put 6 hours in the driving
solar
cleaning company. I put 6 hours in the driver's seat this morning. We're on day 3, but it fulfills me. It's a respect thing between me and my guys as well. I feel like it creates this camaraderie that we all have. It's fun, but at the end of the day, it's a go-getter. It's just always been the drive, to find something new. I've never said no. I was talking to my brother-in-law right before this. I just don't know how to say no, and that's how here we are. I'm 29, and I'm lucky enough to have a partnership in 5 different companies because I've never been able to say no. We've just kind of rolled with it.
How much money were you making 5 years ago?
5 years ago, I was probably
when you were on the farm. You don't have, in between a $40,000 to what, $60,000 range, like a normal farm management, right?
$42,000.
And now you are on paper a millionaire, and that's because he has decided, I'm going to be different than everybody else. 29-year-old, you said you wanted to be a millionaire by you were 30. You are on paper. You just don't have it in the bank account.
My wallet's a little thinner, but.
And how big that's the American dream that he's done. I will say I have a funny story about Kyle, though. He wants his dirty hands and everything. Well, first of all, his hand, he only has freaking 3 fingers.
Hey, I got like 4.5. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4.
Yeah, his fingers. So he chopped it off, probably being an idiot, mowing his lawn, probably with looking at his beer instead of his hand.
Yeah, it was a Sunday hangover that I just carried into a long day.
Okay. But one thing is Kyle wants his hands on everything. And, that was a struggle for you when you first started. And I spent a lot of time with you like, Kyle, no, I need you to develop relationships. I need you to build business. And, the guy would be out there wrenching and doing shit. And I'm like, I remember driving down the 152 one day. I think it was like road 11 or 12. I called Kyle. I said, what are you doing right now? He goes, I'm hauling a machine around. I said, Kyle, I want you to pull over right now. I want you to unhook that fucking trailer right now. and quit hauling these damn machines around and have somebody else do that. Because I need you to get out and make some business right now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's been probably my toughest role I've played, right, is delegating, because I am pretty hands-on. Delegating, spending more time in the office, putting myself in, uncomfortable situations, right? I get nervous every time I walk in the office and I talk about numbers just because I'm really key on equipment and, being with the guys and just getting stuff done. I've always just, if somebody's got to do it, I'm part of the guys and I'll kind of get it done. So it's been a tough role, but I've really embraced it. I think it's helped me out so much, work-wise, even just family-wise at home, just being able to kind of let go and kind of shut the phone off and relax a little bit. Which, my wife would probably tell you different, but, I try to
she's
really
a saint.
kind of set it back. Yeah, she's awesome. Our kids have kind of set, things different and put things into perspective.
Talk about that. Like, people just don't know. Well, you have two kids, but yep. What's their names?
Greenlee, Espinola. Greenlee, Hope, Espinola, and Rowan Scott.
And talk about the hope, Greenlee, and the hope that she's brought to you and many other people.
Yeah, middle name, Hope, came from... That's all me and my wife had. When it came down to it, was just Hope. My wife has lupus, which is an autoimmune disorder. With that comes some complications when it comes to birth. So there's a 0.004% chance I think it happens, but you can transfer antibodies into the placenta. And anyways, daughter had complete heart block. Went to Valley Children's. We found out on week 19 she was pregnant week 19. Found out Valley Children's actually told us to terminate the pregnancy, and me and my wife decided that day that we weren't going to take that for an answer. Made some calls and set some stuff up to go up to Stanford. And that's essentially where she was born. My wife lived up there. Nicole lived up there for, I think, about 2 months before she was born, and Greenlee was born.
That actually, I almost want to punch that doctor in the face because...
Yeah, Dr. Petrowska, if anybody sees him.
Petrowski?
Petrowski, something like that. No.
That girl, it almost brings me to tears right now because that girl is so oh my God. But keep going, I'm sorry.
She got a whole different outlook on life. But born at Stanford, 35 weeks and 6 days, I think. So a little bit early, but we were actually, God blessed us. We were doing 2 appointments a week up there, just tracking her heart rate, right? Because her congenital heart block, you got 4 chambers in your heart. They weren't talking. So her heartbeat was around 50, 45s to 50. So when she was born, we had a plan set up. She was going to have a pacemaker the minute she was born. So she was born at 4 pounds, something ounces, the smallest baby till this day at Stanford, Lucille Packard Children's
Isn't she a legend there?
She's awesome. We walk in there, she walks there like she's Elvis Presley walking in the building. So she had a pacemaker put in at 20 seconds, 30, of life.
Crazy.
And she just had her second open heart surgery this year in January, late January, and she's a whole new outlook on life. Just so much joy and fun and laughter, and and that's why we gave her the middle name Hope, because at the end of the day, she gave us hope. She wasn't even born yet, right? But we just had so much hope and love and hope in God that these opportunities that He was giving us, would go through. So. Yeah, Greenlee Hope Espinola. She's a legend at Stanford, and
then the little meathead.
Yeah, and then there's Rowan. That dude's a tank. So he's almost as big as Greenlee is now. He's 7 months. She's just turned 3. He's all
head and belly.
Yeah. Yesterday, I was at the zoo. He had a big old tank top on, looked like a bro. We were calling him Chad. But no, he's been awesome. Kids have been awesome. Wife's amazing, and I've been, like I said, blessed with them. Blessed with numerous opportunities from the Lord and from yourself and our partners. That there's no explanation to why. You just say yes and you go. And you figure it out. Figure it out as you go.
Yeah, that's another thing, Kyle. I'll come up. I'm good at coming up with ideas. Just I don't like to have to do it all the time, but I like to see it all proceed. And he's just one that just takes it, and like, I think now he's got that belief now. Actually, I know he does, that fuck, we can do it. Like, I don't give a shit. We're going to figure it out. It's just like this solar deal came about a month ago. Fuck, we're running already.
Nah.
And I'm really proud of him. And I think a lot of people need to learn from what he did as 29 years old. Kyle had some fun in this. It's kind of a joint venture with the Ag Center. And he is getting to pass on the blessings of his talents to other people who are investing into him because he's good at what he's doing. And I think he's had fun. He set up the company, set up an investment plan. He set up, had a deal that, his whole presentation. I think that's just so special that he, I spend a lot of time in the office, right? That's where I'm at. Unfortunately, I feel like all day long, right? And Kyle's starting to, unfortunately, he's got to be there a lot now. That just comes with growth.
Yep.
You don't have a choice. Well, you do have a choice. You can hire somebody else to do it, but nobody does it as good as you.
Yep.
Right?
So, yeah, just been delegating, right? Boys in the shop, blessed with an awesome team in the shop, in the field. Shoot, goes back to my dad's work ethic. He's still, to this day.
What is your dad, Gene? I'm going to give that man a shout out. That tough son of a gun is in there all day long working, unless he has a lawn project.
Yeah, he's working in the backyard or a doctor's appointment or something. But he's in there working. Doug will swing by, and there's 4 guys talking, and my dad's over there welding and
cracking the whip.
Away.
Yeah, I always go in there. Is Gene the only person who works in this fucking place? You know what I mean?
Yep, he's getting down.
And he is, but I know that's exactly where Kyle is, and just that support. I can tell every time I see Gene, whether you see it or not, his facial expressions, how damn proud he is of his son. He's in there making probably less than minimum wage, whatever Kyle decides to pay him. I don't even know.
He's not our highest paid.
Yeah, he's definitely not. And he's in there just proud of his son.
Yeah.
Just proud, working in that hot shop, grinding things while he watches his son throw the touchdowns out there on the field. And he's the guy, pitching the ball out to him so his son can make the play. And I haven't seen, I don't know if I've ever really seen that in life. And I've never really told you that, but how special I think that is. It's just like, wow, this man is just, and I know how proud your mom is of you. I don't have to even say that. Like, and your sister, like your whole family's just proud of you. Everybody is, your brother-in-law. People can't say enough of you. It's like, people who you work with. I've never heard anything bad about you. It's just, and that's such a rarity. I've heard a lot about myself. Used to it. Whatever. And I told Kyle, get used to that. You're going to hear a lot about me.
Yeah.
But I'm able to just brush it off. It is what it is. People think what they think, and you just got to. And people are going to start thinking of that about you, Kyle. Yep. You're probably getting to that point where people start. You're stepping on toes that people don't want to get stepped on. My grandfather talked about that in the first podcast we did. Some people start getting mad about decisions you make, and it's not your fault. You're born that way. That you just want more, and you want it more than them.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to those people out there that's the way it is.
It's nothing against them, and you hate to say it's just business, but at the end of the day, it's life. It's your livelihood. So if you're gonna sit here and be okay with mediocrity, then there's gonna be, especially in this industry, it's getting tight. The custom game's tight. Mm-hmm. Almond prices aren't what they used to be. Trees are everywhere, but at the end of the day, all the custom guys are there too. So we've really had to fine tune it. Ask ourselves literally every day, why are we doing this? And, why are we trying to get better today? Why are we not being complacent with, 35 machines. Why are we building 10 more? Because, somebody's out there doing it. So we're going to be that guy. Just made plans. We're going up to Chico on Monday morning with Caddyshack, start a new hub there. A Watts Up solar cleaning. Got rolling on Tuesday, day 3, rolling good, moving to day 4 into Gustine tomorrow. So it's just always been something. Keep your mind busy. The more you got to think to yourself, the more you kind of doubt yourself. So I've given myself 0 time to doubt myself and just really been pushing forward. And at the same point, thanking individuals that have helped me get here.
Yeah. I feel like with my relationship with Kyle, it's like the Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, except we're not going to stop there because this is real life. It's not football where you wear out.
I ain't asking for a trade.
Yeah. And, there's a lot of people who've worked for us who didn't cut it, people who've been partners with us or tried to be, and people are chasing after him. But I come to say that good luck. And I know that when I talk to him, I'm fully confident. We've had weird things happen in our business, and we've had the ups, we've had the downs, but this man is a hungry man, a lion, and I feel bad for people who want to compete because we're both lions, and we're going to bring heat that people have never seen, that ideas and thoughts and collaborations with people. I mean, there's people who are going to come up with better ideas than us. And we are humble enough to say, we need to probably be with you. Yep. We've understood that collaboration with people is a must in this business. I mean, you're working with, a lot of companies, whether it's shredding or whether it's like Preferred Growers helping us, on the brush raking and things that we're not doing. We need Juan and people like that. We need their help, right? We need to work with them. We need to be strategical and pick the right people who are going to be true to us. And you've just stood strong in picking a lot of the right people. And a lot of times I run and gun and pick people that maybe we shouldn't at times. And you've always had your instincts. And that's one thing. You have really good instincts. You are an instinct guy. You kind of feel people out, and you feel it quick. I think that's one thing that you have above most people I see, besides work ethic, is you have a good instinct. You know if something's kind of off, and I've learned to really trust your instinct. You whether that's how you're raised, whatever it is, you think long and hard about it and who that person is or who that person we're doing business with. When's it time to say no? When's it time to go? And I've put in a lot of confidence in you, and that it's paid off tenfold.
Yeah. I think it's been, from growing up / my wife, Nicole, I give it all, there's so many times I come home and she's like, what's going on? And we'll sit there, we'll talk it through till 11, 12:30 at night. And she kind of says her instincts, I say mine, and we come up with a game plan, you present it, and we roll from there. That's how we came up with the name for the new company, just kind of bouncing ideas off of her. And I think it comes back to, I'd say to everything of this podcast, right? It's humble. I've never thought I was the one that had all the answers. I never thought I was going to save the world at any means. I've truly kind of fed off everybody and every opportunity that I've presented with to pull the best out of them, therefore to, bring the best out of me. I got shout out to Gilbert Campos, right?
I was going to say, you can't even go without
He's my guy on Caddyshack. He runs Caddyshack for us. He was the first employee that I ever hired for Caddyshack 5 years ago. The kid was still going to high school. He'd go to high school from 7:30 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. He'd come and run a Caddyshack rig from 3:30 to 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night.
And then go help his parents probably cook.
And then go help his parents. Yeah, do tacos, right? Junior works for us now, but it was at the point where I was like, I don't know all this mechanic stuff. Gilbert, you're 17 years old and you know mechanics. You want a job? Sounds good. Been with me since till now.
Talented guy. that is another good thing you do. Pick talent. And, I mean, from Will to Junior to Gilbert. I mean, these guys are incredible. I know you just hired a new mechanic. I forgot his name. I don't want to. Miguel. I'm sure your dad. It's just the talent is just lined up there, and we are. These guys. I mean, I'll talk to you in the morning. I'm not the earliest riser anymore, and I'll talk to you, and you'll be like, "Oh, Will was working till 9, 10." And the reason you get that out of your guys is because you have done it 100 times over, and you're there with them. You're probably running the damn shaker with them or whatever the Caddyshack machine. I think you moved on from the Caddyshack machine, but I'm just saying you are out there doing it, and it just consistency. And you have made, I just know, I don't even have to ask from Matt. You have great guys with you, Matt Parrish, Brian Silvera, Peter Hilvers, and their respect without them telling you what they have for you with me, how they brag about you. I'm getting my words, blah, 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 is all bullshit, but is how the respect for you. It's just in the whole accent. You're just like, you're creating a name for yourself that you deserve. You're not riding on a coattail. You're not riding on that. You have earned every ounce of what you got. And Kyle, you could have left me 100 times to people that would have gave you an opportunity, and maybe it would have been bad. I don't know. You know what I mean? But you've been so true to me in so many ways that I can't even explain it. And I've tried to give back. I try to give you everything I possibly can that I'm financially capable of doing, as you deserve. Yeah. There's not a day I ever say, that man makes too much, or that guy has more than he deserves, because it's just like, but the greatest part about making you a partner is you were able to understand that. And when you give to people or you pay your bill, how you run your businesses, and you're starting a new solar company that you're going to be running and growing, is like, you're learning all the things that I had to go through yourself now. And I've kind of been hands off on it, just like, hey, run it.
Yeah, and I think it's it's something that people say all the time. Follow your gut. If it feels right, it feels right. I've been offered plenty of jobs over the last 5 years. That's not a secret.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's just it feels right. It feels so fun. I had a long conversation with Clay the other day. He's like, "Oh, you probably got so much on your plate." I do, but man, I love it. Yeah. Like it fires me up. I still truly enjoy everything. I mean, I say still. I'm only 29, but I truly enjoy everything during the day, and it just goes back to being humble and just taking literally day by day. I wake up in the morning and we roll. I talk to you about 9:30 every single day, and
I get up a little earlier than that.
Yeah, I might not be number one on the favorites list.
No, you're top. No, bullshit.
So no, it feels right. Everything feels right, and we've been rolling. It's been fun. The camaraderie is awesome. What the Ag Center has brought, what our partnerships have brought to, our livelihood, the business side of it, but what it's done to our personal relationship, our wives, our family, it's been everything. It's been awesome.
Well, I could go on because I talk to him all day, and I could talk to him all day right now, but people might get tired of our shit right now listening to us, or saying, Doug, shut it off, because it's almost 40 minutes. So
that was quick.
It did go quick, because everything goes quick with you, because you do move quick. You're a fun guy. You're a badass. You're this man. I like saying this man. I took that from Parrish. Is a serious force to be reckoned with. I'm glad he's on my team. Viking, soldier, whatever. He's just. If this was Roman times, you'd be right at the front, riding a black or a white horse.
Come on.
Yeah, because he fears nothing. And if you're somebody listening to this who doesn't do business with Kyle, not that I'm trying to pitch business at all, you're a fool, because he will take care of you like you're his family. He will do everything in his right mind to give you the best service, best quality. If he can't find an answer, he'll do it. We'll build it. We'll buy it. We'll do it.
I'll get you an answer.
Yeah, he'll get you an answer. So Kyle, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of your family. I love your wife, your kids. They are my family, and I love you tremendously. And I thank you, and I know Clay does, and everybody that's involved, the Ag Center does, because you're the face of what we want it to be. The face. I mean, I know Bonds wants to be the face.
He wants to hold that role.
But we kicked him off Instagram for 3 months permanently. No. Guys like you and Josh are what resembles the shield that we have. You know, the more I said it was, at first was a highway, but now I consider it a shield, the protection, because guys like you are so special. So
be a good person at the end of the day. That's what it comes down to.
And work your ass off.
Be a good person.
Cheers, man.
Already on. Cheers.
Done.